So we are heading out currently here at Marataba from Marataba Safari Lodge, and our plan for the afternoon with Robin over here is that we're going to try and look for the pride with a very, very young cub. You might have seen it on our social media pages over the last month or so, but we are going to see if we can try and find her and maybe put slightly longer form content together for all of you to watch on our YouTube channel. So let's hold thumbs and fingers, and maybe we get lucky. The cub was seen last night, so we're heading into that general vicinity, and hopefully we get to see them, and then we can show that little bundle of joy to all of you. Okay, so we've just come to the area where they saw this pride of lions with the little cub yesterday morning. Now Robin is just quickly checking for tracks, but where they saw them last night is kind of further south from where we were, towards a watering hole. So it seems like the general direction of the pride is moving south. So what we're going to do is we're going to loop around down towards the river, back towards where they were last seen last night, and then hopefully we can find some tracks. There were tracks of one big male that headed kind of east off that main road. So we're gonna head kind of roughly back towards that area and see if we get lucky. Maybe we find them. Robin, how does that sound?
Fantastic.
Okay, so after checking the area quite extensively, we managed to come across some tracks that I think, Robin, are probably a good option to follow up on, eh?
Definitely.
So I'm gonna try and see if I can show you the tracks here. So right over there you can see the back pad of a lion, and there's a prominent game path going through there. Yeah, so I think what we'll do is we're going to try and see if we can follow up. The tracks of that little cub is here as well. Robin has just circled it. I'm going to show you now, and let's see where these tracks head off to. Maybe we get lucky. It's still fairly warm, so hopefully wherever they ended up, they might have went to lay down and rest a little bit. It was a fairly warm day, but there's a nice cool breeze, so I've got a feeling that they might get active a little bit earlier than normal. So yeah, let's see, maybe we get lucky. I'm just going to see if I can show you the little cub track. See, in that circle you can see the back pad right over there compared to mom's track over there. Okay, so we've managed to find some more tracks of this pride, and the tracks look fairly fresh. It's just on the other side of this dam. We're just covering our bases on this side of the dam to see if we can't maybe cut them off. The tracks do look quite fresh. It's not impossible for them to have moved during the middle of the day. I know a lot of times people think that lions are very inactive during the midday, and for probably majority of the time that's the truth, but it doesn't stop them from moving in the middle of the day if they have to. Especially if there's a young cub like this, there might be other factors involved to force these lions to move a little bit more during the middle of the day. Maybe the other males are in the area that the females aren't too comfortable with, or other types of predators that could be a potential threat for them. So yeah, we're optimistic. The tracks are very fresh, and yeah, let's see what happens. After tracking lions for most of the afternoon, look at this beautiful view behind us. It's not bad at all. There's been reports of a female cheetah with 3 subadults. So if you've been watching the YouTube channel or our social media pages, you would have seen some content on this female. I've been seeing them for some time. Some hippos calling in the background there. And they're not too far from where those cheetahs are. There's actually 2 lionesses that were found as well. So we're going to try and make our way down there. Maybe we get lucky and we get to see both of them. They're not actually far from one another, so it'd be interesting to see what plays out towards the end of the afternoon. There is a watering hole there as well, so the hope is that either the cheetah and her cubs, or maybe those 2 lionesses, get up and move towards that watering hole, and maybe they get a drink, we'll get some nice shots. Kind of end our afternoon on a high. But it's been a very eventful afternoon already, tracking that pride of lions with that little cub. We know kind of where they are, but it's just an area that's inaccessible. It's right in the middle of the Marataba River, so I'm sure either this evening or tomorrow morning they'll come out and maybe we get lucky. So it's been a great afternoon. It's been a beautiful afternoon. The light at the moment is just incredible, and I'll pan around now to these beautiful Waterberg Mountains. So this place is just special. It's scenic, it's great landscape, and it's a really, really special place. I'm going to pan around and you see the Waterberg Mountains. There you go. So yeah, let's see. We're about maybe 20-30 minutes away from where we want to be, where the female cheetah and those two lionesses are. So we're going to drive there. You never know what we might find along the way. So stay tuned. Okay, everybody. So we've just gotten into the area where this female cheetah and her 3 cubs are. They're lying just off to our left here. Not sure if you'll be able to see, but all of them are present. It looks like the female is kind of right in the middle of where all of them are lying, right in that sunny patch. So these sub-adults are now almost about 14-15 months old, thereabout. And we kind of arrived just at the right time. It's starting to cool down quite nicely. The sun is starting to dip. We're going to get that beautiful light. And as it gets cooler, we're hoping that possibly they're going to get up and maybe move. So we're going to sit with them for a little while and see what happens. Maybe we get lucky and we see a bit of action. Currently they're all pretty much flat out, but you never know. Patience is a virtue out here in the bush. And if when there might be some activity starting with most cats like lions and leopards and cheetahs, you start seeing them stretch, yawn. It's a clear indicator of them getting ready, stretching those muscles out. And you can see this is what's happening currently. So hopefully in the next maybe 10 minutes or so, they'll start getting up. Usually what happens is the youngsters will generally get up and they're a little bit more playful. They are getting a little bit older, so that playfulness is still there, but it's becoming less and less. But it would be amazing. The sun is really perfect right behind us, so really going to get that beautiful golden light falling on them. The one cheetah's just lifted his head. Some zebras earlier, just in the tree line here. Cheetahs are often very alert. One of them will always have their head up. Of all the carnivores out here, cheetahs are the most vulnerable, fairly low on the pecking order. So they need to keep an eye out for lions, hyenas, leopards. You can see now 3 of them are pretty flat, and the 4th one is kind of has his head up and looking. So we just had an amazing sighting of those 4 cheetahs, the female and the 3 sub-adults. We kind of left them lying down because we wanted to come and see what the reports of these 2 lionesses were. With the sun going down, we want to try and see if we maybe get lucky with these 2 lionesses starting to move towards a watering hole, which is not far from where they are lying down apparently. We know where we left the cheetah, so we can always maybe come back. We probably have about 30 minutes of light left, so we want to try and capitalize, and hopefully if we're lucky we can see this lions get up and move a little bit. But it's been an amazing afternoon. You know, we spent the first part of the afternoon tracking, which is always a lot of fun. It's such an amazing guest experience to watch the guides at work and, you know, put their skills to the test, find the tracks, see how fresh they are, which direction, kind of anticipating what they want to try and achieve and do. And sometimes it pays off and you're lucky. This time around those tracks went right into the river, but I'm sure maybe tomorrow we'll get lucky with that pride and that young cub. But now we're on our way to those 2 lionesses, so let's see. Okay, so we just arrived here where these 2 lionesses were. When we arrived, they were a little bit nervous. Oh, beautiful yawn. Oh, just missed that shot. That was so close. But it's in an incredible area. I'll try and show it to you just now. But there's a whole herd of zebra not far from here, about maybe 200 meters away from us in this open area. And it's a nice clear view for these lions to see these zebra, and hopefully these zebra come to drink. And what we would then do is we would move away and, you know, give enough space for whatever might happen will happen in a whole natural way. We don't want to be involved or interfere with what might be happening. So they look pretty content. The one lioness is flat out and the other one is a little bit heads up. But I think the one that's heads up is because she's just scanning these zebra and just keeping an eye on them. So it might get interesting. Let's hope. This is really turning out to be an amazing afternoon. Okay, so we kind of pulled away from where those lionesses were. We probably about 70 meters or so away from where they are lying down. The one lioness has got her head up, but there's a lot of activity going on around us. There's a whole herd of zebra about 200 meters off to our right. There's a giraffe that walked just behind us, and there's a herd of impalas about 50-60 meters away from us to our left here. And what we're hoping, it seems like the zebras are moving off, but it looks like this herd of impala is kind of maybe walking towards the watering hole. So if that's the case, those 2 lionesses are very, very well hidden, lying underneath one of the acacia trees. I don't think the lionesses know that there's a herd of impalas here, but if they do go into this open area, there's a very good chance that we might be in for something special. Robin has parked the vehicle kind of in the perfect place. There's a nice alley for us to see where the lionesses are lying down, and if something does happen, we will have a very good clear view, and we are a good distance away from them to not interfere with what might be happening here. So sure, this can really turn out to be a pretty amazing afternoon. Hopefully the next video is us showing you what just happened. Okay, so these 2 lionesses just both lifted up their heads. One of them are looking back towards where that herd of impala is, so I think they might have heard them. There's another vehicle there looking at a giraffe, so they could be listening to them. But I think they might have heard these impalas kind of moving through the shrubs. Both of them heads up, so there's a good chance that they're going to get up and moving now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so these lions are on the move at the moment. We're going to try and catch them on the other side. Where the impalas were and where they're going is 2 different places, so let's see where they're heading. So that turned out to be a beautiful sighting of those 2 lionesses. Unfortunately, no hunting took place, but the light is just insane. We've got this beautiful hue of the sun going down, and we're just going to loop around and see. They did move into this block. If we're lucky, we might get another glimpse of them. It looked like an adult lioness and maybe an oldish sub-adult. So maybe if we're lucky we get another glimpse of them, but it was really a special sighting. There was a big giraffe in here as well that kind of caught whiff of them and started to run off. But they didn't look like they've eaten, at least in the last 24 hours. They didn't have very full bellies. So there's a good chance that they might go on the hunt this evening. They are moving into quite a large block where there's not too many roads, so we might lose them, but nonetheless it was a pretty amazing afternoon. So if we're lucky we get a last glimpse of them. Otherwise, I think this was a pretty amazing way to end this afternoon. What an awesome day.